When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're the championship rounds with King, of Essex. So let's get to it. I had to postpone this episode, ladies and gentlemen, in order to make it juicy for you. All right. Um, Real quickly go over the Yamileth Mercado win over Ramla Ali. What should be next for Mercado was a unification with Ellie Scotney. Um, Scotney's itching for that bout. Mercado, I don't know if she's ready, but certainly that would be a very entertaining bout. Scotney, her style reminds me a lot of Gary Russell Jr., believe it or not. The footwork, short arms, but she can punch in combinations, get in and out of there. Great fight to be had. Can't wait to see it now. What's next for Ramla Ali? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what's next for her. 122, definitely a title shot. Not necessarily on the horizon, but maybe she would consider. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to think of what Ramla does next because I don't think it's a lack of skill. I think it's a lack of confidence or just, something not quite clicking. But this was a title bout. She can return against who? Maybe one of you guys let me know. I want to know if Tiara Brown, that win was enough to get her the Skye Nicolson bout. I know you guys are saying, but it was for the WBC mandatory. I hear all of that, but if you've been paying attention to boxing scene, they're reporting that all of a sudden women's boxing may make its debut under undercard of Beterbiev-Bivol with none other than Skye Nicolson versus Raven Chapman. Now, Raven Chapman's got a bout coming up. Talk about that later. She's got a fight announced, but that seems to be because of the Queensberry connections of Chapman and the Matchroom connections of Nicholson and the Matchroom connections, or excuse me, Eddie Hearn's Nicholson. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But is this the fight that premieres women's boxing for Riyadh season? That doesn't mean it's going to happen over there. It does if it's on the Beterbiev-Bivol card, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That would be all of Eddie Hearn's design if that were to happen. But again, I'm not complaining how we got there, just so long as we can have more opportunities. I hope it doesn't become Skye Nicolson is the only fighter. Her and her opponents are the only ones that are going to get featured, because then we could look and see the nepotism. But never mind that. Got to talk about another fight that was announced: the return of Paterson, New Jersey's own Shadeja Green versus Natasha Spence out of Canada. Spence is a very tough opponent. She's has a loss to Hannah Gabriels. We know Hannah Gabriels is a former champion, and she also has a loss to, I wrote this down, Melissa St. Ville out of Brooklyn by way of Haiti. Veteran fighter, world-class contender. So Spence has a lot of experience to bring. Meanwhile, Green, both of these fighters are trying to get back in the win column, but it's been a slow return for Green. Hasn't fought since the Francois Cruz-Hernandez bout. But waiting to see her get back in the win column and moving forward. Remember, you got to have a quick memory with this boxing thing. People only remember your last performance, so give us another performance. And this one will be on the undercard of Jake Paul and Mike Perry, I believe. All right. Now, Erika Cruz, I mentioned what does Ramla Ali do next? I just got an idea. Maybe Erika Cruz, right? Now, Ramla's not even ranked in the WBA. I'm not sure what Erika Cruz, who's been stripped of her WBA title, I'm not sure what she does next, but that's a great bout. Another Mexican champ, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, get in there against Erika Cruz, Ramla, and really see where your head and your heart is at. Meanwhile, the WBA title, I think that vacant title is going to be up for vacancy between Marilyn Rivas and Nazarena Romero. Now, Romero and Rivas, their bout ended in a draw. We know Nazarena Romero's bout with Erika Cruz ended in a draw, and that's the one she popped dirty in. So there's degrees of separation, but this belt is up for grabs between these two ladies, and then yeah, see, they got to get that part sorted out. So, and maybe Ramla Ali gets a win over the former champ, whether she popped dirty or not. It gives Ali some substantial ranking in the WBA, and perhaps she gets another title shot. All right. Don't give up. Natasha Jonas, it took her a few chances before she got the title, so don't even worry about it. All right. This is what happens. And real champions, right? It doesn't happen on the first shot. All right. Speaking of champions on the first shot, it was Lauren Price's first shot where she dethroned Jessica McCaskill. And I predicted it a few episodes, whenever I did that Jessica McCaskill has, and she did finally announce her retirement. She made her mark in boxing, all due respect. She's moving on. All right. Different lifestyle, different stage of life, and I wish her happy trails. All right. Moving onward and upward, we're talking about now Rhiannon Dixon versus Terry Harper. So that move, I thought Terry Harper was trying to, get at Caroline Dubois or Beatrice Ferrer. It turns out she wants a piece of Rhiannon Dixon. I wonder what does she see in Dixon that she thinks she can upend her, or is it just a case of selling the name, if you will? Terry Harper, multi-division champ, solid record against all of the best in the UK, certainly. So yeah, maybe this is just kind of, a little bit of pension, going away pension, or does she think she can get one over on Dixon? Now, different class of fighters here when you talk about pedigree. Dixon, coming from the white collar background, um, and has made herself into a world champion. And meanwhile, you got Harper, Team GB, Olympian world champion. So, maybe she just thinks um, that's the opponent that she can, I guess, take her pick at and try to win a title in yet a third division. So that's interesting. That's in August. That's happening. Also, we got another bout that was announced, and I think it's just ridiculous that Dina Thorslund is able to defend her title. Something in the title was Last Dance. I don't know if that meant it's like the last dance of her holding this hostage, holding this title hostage in the Nordic lands, because it's terrible. She's fighting Japanese opponent Tarimi Nuki. Never heard of her. You never heard of anybody on the box rec. Wouldn't recognize her. And I'm just saying, there's a reason why I'm always bringing up Sharetta Metcalf, because what's happening to her is a true disservice. She's ranked number one in the WBO. Dina Thurston's got that title. She's ranked number one in the IBF. Maya Yoshida's got that title. Neither one of these ladies will fight Chiccn Metcalf. So they're the real chickens, even though Chiccn is the real deal chicken. Y'all get me, man. It should be a shit, Dina Thorslund. Come on, man. I respect, her last performance against Siren Seton. That was a solid performance against a world champion. But again, sometimes when you're fighting fighters that don't get a chance to, sharpen their skills against more world class competitors, what are we really getting? How can I really, come on. I gotta respect a title defense against someone I can recognize. So Dina Thorslund, I'm pouring duck sauce on this one, man. Get your life together. Um, in that same vein, I want to take a look at what Chantel Cameron is doing in her debut for Queensberry. I'm under how much work is over there at Queensberry, because they're bringing up Elon Miklad, former world champion at 130 pounds, but she's coming all the way up to 140. Yeah, I don't get it. For granted, it happens. Sometimes you got to move up. I've said it 1,000 times just to get a title shot, but for the vacant WBC interim title, and great positioning, because in her mind, hey, I'll get in there against a former, competitor. She's in between divisions with Taylor and Serrano. Maybe she's thinking none of those women are true 140 pounders. Um, but that's who is in front of Chantel Cameron. Now, listen, Chantel Cameron cannot afford to shit the bed. All right. You leave Matchroom. You're upset with the way Matchroom and Eddie handled you. And I don't disagree with it, but you can't shit the bed against somebody to bring it up two divisions. All right. Take care of business. Um, Former world champion, I get it, but take care of business, and then you can force the issue against Katie Taylor should she come victorious, or against Amanda Serrano. That would be a hell of a bout. I know the Taylor bout would mean more to you to get your revenge, but the Serrano bout, all action. She would definitely push you to the limit. All right. Also talk about Raven Chapman. Now, she may be facing an opponent of seemingly limited opposition or limited credentialing. Yashira Sarabia out of Colombia. She's 10-0 with 6 KOs, very nondescript resume. Meanwhile, Raven Chapman is 8-0 with 2 KOs. Is a featherweight division bout. This is happening in July, and I've already said, like, there's speculation that perhaps Chapman and Nicholson could meet on that undercard of Beterbiev-Bivol. So maybe more eyes than mine and yours will be on the Chapman Sarabia bout. I know I can't wait, and this is in a couple of weeks. My girl has returned, Yokasta Valle. She is in action, of course, the former unified strawweight division champion. She's in action against Ramdeep Kaur, nondescript opponent out of India. But the truth be told, this is why people, fans, everybody has been insisting for the Estrada rematch. There's nothing going on at 105. Nothing going on at 105. I'm wondering though if this is the route that Valle must take in addition to fighting, her way back into contention against whatever level of opponents are available. Does she have to get did Estrada and her camp refuse to give Valle a fight unless she got rid of Coach G? That's what it sounds like or seems like to me. That's just what it looks like optics wise. All right. Come up the hard way and get rid of Coach G, and then I'll see if we can make the fight down the line. Meanwhile, again, there is no depth at 105. So what is Senicia doing? I don't know. I don't know. All right. I do know this weekend we only got one significant women's boxing bout. Maisie Rose, what's Maisie Rose Courtney? Yeah, MRC. Um, Matchroom prospect. She is in action against, I would say, a veteran, even though she's only 7-1. I think she's a veteran. Jasmina Zapoknica. Hope I said her name right. And yeah, this is a good bout. I think they both have a win over the veteran Gimarug. So should be good to see how Maisie Rose Courtney continues to develop. Obviously, she's considered the A side in this one, but like I said, even at 7-1, Zapoknica is a veteran because she's been in there with some pretty good fighters thus far. So that pretty much rounds out all of the women's boxing fight news. Like I said, I try to hold off a little bit so I can make this one substantial, so I can leave you with a little bit more meat on the bone. Pause. Hey man, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, share this, steal the words of wisdom, and pretend that you did the hard work yourselves. I don't give a shit as long as you spread the gospel of women's boxing. I appreciate you. All right, drop a like, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, by the way, episode coming up. I got an interview. Yeah, I still do my thing on the men's side of things. So I got an interview with Macon Boxing Gym out of Dallas, Texas. That'll be up soon, and I'll see you guys.